infrastructure, solid minerals, and governance institutions, procurement in particular, and management of overheads. The second pillar or component after your baseline will be laying the foundation for growth, because growth don't just happen. Growth is planned. You can't achieve growth by happenstance, and you cannot achieve growth by guesswork. The public spending, which is the fiscal role of government, is supposed to be used to prime economies. But you can only prime an economy that you understand. You can only prime an economy that you know gives you what part of that economy gives you the highest return on public expenditure in terms of capital spending. This is something that we must do. Planning for states is something that the APC government cannot run away from. We cannot criticize the federal government for not doing things that we ourselves are guilty of. It's not done. It is possible for states to be the drivers of change at the national level and create models that work. It is not always that good things have to be exemplified by the federal government. It is possible for states to show the federal government how to do things. The third level of this states for growth is service delivery. You've planned, how do you make it work? And I think that is why the SSGs are here, because you have major roles in advising your governors and the governments on how to implement some of these policies. We have to learn how to make government work for the people by focusing on delivery. And the only way to focus on delivery is if targets are set and the indicators for achievement of those targets are established right at the onset, so that you don't keep moving the goalpost around in order to suit your political whims and caprices. We have to set this, and it's part of transparency. If you tell somebody, if you tell the people, this is what I'm going to deliver in education in year 1, in year 2, and year 3, then it's able to follow you as you make progress along your own trajectory. The final leg of this program will be to ensure what I call in-party continuity and succession, which is basically an advocacy for inclusion and mentoring. If you have a vision that is not shared and that is not believed by the lower rungs of the political and the administrative system in the state, most probably that vision is not going to go to where it will go. And it is important that state retreat with political appointees and top civil servants should be a quarterly habit of our states. Setting up framework for quarterly review of the state key result areas in every sector that we have planned for is something that must take place. And then set up government to the people accountability framework by regular engagement with the people to brief them beyond the works of the traditional ministries of education. You have the political leadership goes around on a periodic basis to tell the people how far he has gone, how far he hasn't gone, and the reasons why he's going there and not going there. That's the meaning of participatory governance. There's no magic about it, it's just disclosure. Tell the people the state of the state at every time. In fact, what you get in exchange for that is more sympathy and accommodation than vicious criticism that your opponents uses against you. Because you allow your opponents to get to the people ahead of you. and tell them information that are not true about you and the government, and then you run into problem, and then you throw the party into a mess. This is what we must all avoid. What is the role of the international partners? The role of the international partners is to support, to motivate, and as I speak with you, some of us have taken a voluntary initiative to approach the UNDP under its so-called Sustainable Development Goals, which is the replacement for the MDG, that we need to shift emphasis from over attention to the federal government and shift in the direction of the states, because the states are the engine rooms of the economy. And they have agreed that this program on making states the drivers of growth, using the Sustainable Development Goal as part framework in addition to other frameworks that may exist, will then be domesticated, adapted to suit specific states' needs, and be supported on the basis of co-funding. States will have to put money into the pool, and then the UNDP will match it, and then use that to create knowledge, support, and capacity for states that are willing to follow this logical process of do your baseline, set up the plan, establish a delivery framework, and guarantee sustainability. How do states participate? You must indicate interest. You must be willing to walk along this logical framework, 4 steps that have been merited, and then promise to make your own contributions, because what comes free is never appreciated. And this is my hope, that working in partnership with the PGF, this program in the coming months, particularly in the month of August, I believe will be offered to states who are willing to participate, and entry and opportunity will be on the basis of first come, first served. Because I don't see how 22 space can be available. So it's left for the most proactive and reform-oriented 10 out of our 22 states that will have opportunity within this window. Mr. DG, I thank you for this privilege.
Thank you very much, Senator Adetunmbi. Please, can we please give another